Om Shanti. Today's Murli. Essence. Sweet children, always maintain the intoxication that the Father, the ocean of knowledge, has given you knowledge and made you into spinners of the discus of self-realization and seers of the three aspects of time. You are Brahmins who belong to the clan of Brahma. Question: how is it that you children become multi-million times fortunate as soon as you become Brahmins? Answer: to become a Brahmin means to attain liberation in life in a second. Brahmin means to attain liberation in life in a second. As soon as you become a child of the Father, you receive a right to the inheritance. So liberation in life is your right. Liberation in life is your right, and you are therefore multi-million times fortunate. However, no one in this land of death is even 100th time fortunate. There continues to be untimely death. You children are now gaining victory over death. You also have the knowledge of the three aspects of time. Shiv Baba is filling your aprons for 21 births. For how many births Baba is filling our apron? For 21 births. Om Shanti. You children understand that you are changing from thorns into flowers. We are changing from thorns into flowers. That is, you are becoming deities from human beings. You children know that this is a forest of thorns. You now have to go to the garden of flowers. This Delhi was also the land of angels at some point in time. You children used to rule there when you were deities. Some of you ruled as kings or emperors and others were subjects. You all know that this world is now to become a graveyard. You will make it into the land of angels. We are making it the land of angels. You know that the whole world becomes new. Radhe and Krishna and Lakshmi and Narayan used to live on the banks of river Jamuna. It is not that Radhe and Krishna used to rule. No, Radhe and Krishna came from different kingdoms. The two then married, and then on their marriage they became Lakshmi and Narayan and ruled in that land of angels on the banks of river Jamuna. This kingdom is very old. There continued to be the lineage of the original eternal deity kingdom. However, only you children know these things. Only you are creating your land of angels. We are creating our land of angels. You are establishing your kingdom. How? With the power of yoga. How we are establishing our land of angels, our kingdom? With the power of yoga. The kingdom of deities was not established through war. You have come here to study the power of Raj Yoga, which you also studied 5,000 years ago. You would say, Baba, on this day in the previous cycle too, we were studying with you. Only the children come here. The Father cannot talk to anyone except his children. The Father says, I only teach you children. You should be so intoxicated. You should be so intoxicated that Baba has come to teach us. We are the children of the Father, the God. The Father is the ocean of knowledge. He alone is called the Lord of knowledge. This means that God, who is the ocean of knowledge, is giving you children knowledge. At this time, which knowledge? The knowledge of the beginning, the middle and the end of the world. You children become spinners of the discus of self-realization. You are the clan of Brahma. The clan of Vishnu that rule are neither spinners of the discus of self-realization nor knowers of the three aspects of time. You are the clan of Brahma and will then become deities. We are the Sun dynasty, then became part of the Moon dynasty, then the Merchant dynasty, and then the Sudra dynasty. We have now become parts of the dynasty of Brahma once again. You truly know that you are spinners of the discus of self-realization. You have the knowledge of the beginning, the middle, and the end of the whole world. It is through this that you will become kings and queens who rule the globe. This knowledge is for those of all religions. Shiv Baba speaks to everyone. He still speaks to this Brahma. The soul is now listening to him. You are now Brahmins. Every human being is a child of Shiv Baba and also a child of Brahma Baba. Brahma is a physical being, the great grandfather, whereas Shiv Baba is everyone's spiritual father. Shiv Baba is spiritual father and Brahma is physical father. Shiv Baba cannot be called the father of people. Shiv Baba is the father of souls. Shiv Baba is father of soul. Brahma Baba is father of people. The father says, I give the people of Bharat their fortune of the kingdom. I make them become like diamonds and constantly happy. I give them the inheritance for 21 births. Then when they become worshippers, from being worthy of worship, they begin to defame me. The father says, I, your father, am so elevated. I alone make Bharat into heaven, paradise. You then say that I am omnipresent and then defame me. Bharat became heaven 5,000 years ago. It is a matter of only yesterday. You used to rule there and there was light there. Now there is darkness. But some people think that this is heaven. The people of Bharat think that there should be the new Bharat in the new world and that there should be the kingdom of Rama. People consider this world to be the new. This is in the drama. It is now the final pomp of Maya. There is now to be death for the kingdom of Ravan and victory for the kingdom of Rama, God. It isn't the kingdom of Rama and Sita that is called the kingdom of Rama, God. It is the Sun dynasty that is called the kingdom of Rama. You have come here to become Sun dynasty kingdoms and queens. This is Raj Yoga. It isn't Brahma or Krishna who is teaching you this knowledge. Only the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, is teaching it to you. That Father is the purifier. He is the one who makes the whole world into heaven and gives happiness and peace. This Bharat was at first the land of happiness. Everyone comes from the land of peace. I, the soul, first reside in the land of peace. A soul is in the Supreme Soul. A soul is not the Supreme Soul. I, the soul, am part of the Sun dynasty. I then become a warrior, then a merchant, and then a Sudra. I have now come into the Brahmin clan. This is a play about the cycle or the somersault. First of all, there is the top note of a Brahmins, then the deities, and then the warriors. In total, you have to go through 84 births. Children, there is nothing to be confused about in this. You receive liberation in life in a second. As soon as you become the father's children, you become worthy of inheritance. As soon as you come out of your mother's womb, you claim your inheritance. This too is a matter of a second. Janak received liberation in life in a second, only in a second. You belong to God, and so you also have a right to liberation in life. We have a right to liberation in life. You become the masters of the land of immortality. This is the land of death. No one else is 1 100 times fortunate like you. Here there is untimely death. You are now conquering death. The Father is the death of all deaths, and so you receive such a great inheritance from that Father. You should know about all religions. That is why this picture has been made. This is a school. Who is teaching you? God speaks. Krishna is not teaching you. Krishna is not the ocean of knowledge. The Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul is that He is giving you knowledge. You are the Ganges of knowledge. Deities don't have this knowledge. Only you Brahmins have the knowledge of three aspects of time. Only you study this knowledge at this time and claim the inheritance. You study Raj Yoga and become kings and queens of heaven. You know that you are conquering death through Baba. Conquering death through Baba. There you will have a vision that you are to shed your old body and become a baby again. There is the example of the snake. All of these examples are for you. This Bharat was the temple of Shiva at first. It used to be the kingdom of living deities whose temple have been built. Shiv Baba comes and creates the temple of Shiva. Ravan then comes and creates the brothel. The great Pandits and scholars don't know what Ravan is. You know that the kingdom of Ravan continues for half the cycle. There was the kingdom of goddess Lakshmi and god Narayan in Delhi at first. It is said that 3000 years before Christ, Bharat was heaven. However, they have been forgotten it. When someone dies, people say that person has gone to heaven. They simply sweeten their mouths by saying that when Bharat was heaven, rebirth took place in heaven. Now Bharat is hell, and so rebirth is also in hell. The Father says, children, do you remember that I come every cycle and make you into the masters of heaven? You are now becoming pure from impure. This is the duty of only the one Father. It is in the intellects of all you children that Shiv Baba, the highest on high, sits here and explains to you the essence of all the Vedas and scriptures through Brahma. People have been spending so much on the path of devotion and have become worth sales. The Father says, I had palaces studded with diamonds and jewels built for you children and gave them to you. You then had to come down. The degrees had to decrease. At that time, no one could ascend because it was the time of descending. At this time, you are the highest of all, the children of God. At this time, we are the highest of all, children of God. And you then have to become deities and then warriors. No matter how many donations people make or how much charity they perform, while spending so much on the path of devotion, they have to come down. Baba asks you children, I made you so wealthy. So what did you do with all that wealth? Children reply, we built temples to you. See Baba, the innocent Lord is now filling our apron for 21 births. Baba says, I am your obedient servant, most obedient father, most obedient teacher. I am your father from beyond the world, your teacher from beyond the world, and your most obedient Satguru who resides in the world beyond. I will take you back with me. No other Guru will take you with him. There is no question of being afraid about this. Each of you children has now received a third eye of knowledge. Third eye of knowledge. You see this Baba with those eyes. See Baba can be recognized with the eye of the intellect. You receive your inheritance from Shiv Baba. This Brahma is also receiving the inheritance from Shiv Baba. Shiv Baba is the highest on high. Then there are Brahma, Vishnu, Shankar, and then Brahma and Saraswati, and then Lakshmi and Narayan. That is all. They have created so many pictures. There cannot be anyone with 6 or 8 arms. All of those are the games of the path of devotion. It is a waste of time, a waste of energy. In fact, Gita is the jewel of all the scriptures, the mother. They have made a mistake in that too by inserting the name of the child instead of the name of the father, because they have inserted Sri Krishna instead of Shiv Baba. This too is in the drama. The bestower of salvation for all, the purifier, is only the one father. The other father is Brahma, the father of people. A third father is your physical father. For birth after birth, you receive two fathers. Only at this time do you have three fathers. Do you have three fathers? There is nothing to be confused about in this. It is said knowledge, devotion, and disinterest. There are two types of disinterest. One is limited and the other is unlimited. Sannyasis renounce their home and go away into the forest. Here you renounce the old world with your intellects. That is Hatha Yoga and this is Raj Yoga. Sannyasis do Hatha Yoga and we do Raj Yoga. Hatha Yogis can never teach Raj Yoga. These are very good points that have to be understood. Only at this time do you children change from thorns into flowers. Have we changed? We should check ourselves. Have we changed from thorns into flowers? The number one biggest thorn is body consciousness. Biggest thorn is body consciousness. Only the Father can free you from that. No one else has the power to do it. Acha, to the sweetest, beloved, long lost, and now found children, love, remembrance, and good morning from the mother, the father, Bap Dada. The spiritual father says Namaste to the spiritual children. A sense for dharana. Remove this world, old world, from your intellect and have unlimited disinterest. Remove the evil spirit of body consciousness. Be obedient like the father and serve everyone. Make others similar to yourself. Do not be confused about anything. Blessing. May you be full of happiness and peace and forget the world of sorrow through having God's love. God's love gives you so much happiness that if you become lost in it, you will forget this world of sorrow. Baba gives us so much love, lots of love, that we can forget this world of sorrow. To have all your desires fulfilled for whatever you want in this life is a sign of God's love. Not only does the Father give us happiness and peace, not only Baba gives us happiness and peace, but he makes each of us into a treasure store of it. Treasure store of it. Just as the Father is the ocean of happiness, not just a river or a pond. In the same way, he makes us children into the masters of the treasure store of happiness. This is why there is no need to ask for anything, but simply use the treasures you have received in the right way at the appropriate time. Slogan: hand over the burden of all your responsibilities to the Father. Hand over the burden of all the responsibilities of your father, all the responsibilities to the Father, and become double light. Invaluable versions of Mateswari, the unique way of incorporeal God entering the body of corporeal Brahma. Look, God has created his own method, that is, he has fixed his physical body. He takes the support of that matter to come here. How else would we corporeal human souls sit in the lap of the incorporeal one? This is why God says, I enter this physical form so that you can come into my lap. There is no question of donating anything for this. Simply renounce the 5 vices that have caused you sorrow and made you peaceless, and constantly remember me, the Supreme Soul. Follow my directions in your thoughts, words and actions, and I will burn away all of your sins and take you to Paramdham. This is the promise God makes to us souls. You now have to follow his orders. It is not just a matter of saying that he is our mother and father, but it is by fully belonging to him, that we receive full attainment. If we have a superficial relationship with him, we will receive less. Whatever is the father's business is the children's business. Here there is no question of a divorce. Here we will experience that property for 21 generations. Now we simply have to know that there is no higher authority than him. This is why he says, however I am, remember me, in that form. This is why he says, however I am, remember me, in that form. Baba has now fulfilled his duty, and we children now have to fulfill our duty. We have been in vicious unity, that is following the opinions and codes of conduct of vicious clans for birth after birth, and we created even more karmic bondages through that. Now we have to help God in the parlokik codes of conduct, that is we have to help him in his alokik task. Our relationship now is with the highest authority. We are the children of the bestower of the fortune. He has now come and is giving us knowledge through that physical body. So why should we not pass with honors? We can tell from each one's efforts whether he or she is fortunate or not. If someone goes into God's lap and claims that he or she is an heir child of God and then divorces him, such a child would be called Bhasmasur, a devil who burnt himself to death. If you ascend, you claim a high status, and if you descend, you become Bhasmasur. You now have to remember who it is you have a relationship with. For even deities desire to have this relationship. Acha, Om Shanti. Thank you.